Hello, my name is Obie Fernandez, and I am the CEO and founder of Rcrdshp. It's one of the companies, one of the products on Flow. I want to give a thanks to Dapper Labs and for being not only fabulous partners, but also for inviting us to Flow Fest today. I'm here, and I believe for 10 minutes or so, I'm going to have to look at the clock myself to see what time it is. Good. And there we go. I got a timer on the screen. I'm going to talk to you about Rcrdshp, why what we're doing is pretty cool, and also drop a couple of nuggets of news that will be relevant if you're already a Rcrdshp player, and hopefully will be intriguing if you're not a Rcrdshp player yet. But first of all, what is Rcrdshp? I think maybe one of the easiest ways to describe it would be to say that it's kind of like NBA Top Shot, but for electronic music. And the reason I'm okay with admitting that is because back at the beginning of the year, I was working on a different music NFT project, and I noticed what was going on with NBA Top Shot. And I said, hey, I bet you that I would be in a perfect position to work on something like NBA Top Shot for music. I started pulling it together. And what we've built, is first of all, a fabulous team of tech and industry people. 80% of us are music producers and DJs ourselves, but we've come together with a mission to transform the way that artists and musicians and party promoters and people involved in producing fantastic fan experiences for music fans think about marketing their music, to fans in the way that they create experiences, lasting experiences, interesting experiences, valuable experiences, that in a way that's authentic to their soul, to what they put into their product. And in order to set the context for what I'm talking about, I have to describe the status quo in music right now, and I'll try to do it as briefly as possible because I know I don't have a lot of time. But speaking as an artist myself, I go into the studio to create music. I've invested years and years in trying to perfect my craft. I've invested thousands and thousands of dollars in equipment. I've poured blood, sweat, and tears into trying to build a fan base and, going and doing events and limited amount of touring that I've done in a few years since I, kind of started climbing that ladder. And what I produce in the studio when I'm working on music is essentially an artisanal, it's a piece of art. It's a product of my craft, of my love, of my experiences. It's a piece of my soul, right? This goes the same for any artist out there who goes into a studio and legitimately makes quality music. And then the world right now, the way it's structured, the industry tells us that what we need to do with that baby of ours, that little piece of art, that piece of our soul, is to turn around and to give it to these really large, kind of faceless corporations and digital streaming platforms and say, please take my baby and whore it out in unlimited amounts in a completely commodified way, along with tens of thousands of new songs and, pieces of music that come out every day. And yeah, please do that at 99 cents or less, or actually 0.005 cents or, whatever the digital streaming platforms are playing. And yeah, if you're lucky, you can survive on that. And as we saw during pandemic, a lot of people actually can't survive on that. It's impossible. It's just not enough money. And that is the fundamental problem at the root of today's music industry. The music industry serves only the top, I won't even say 1%, because it's probably closer to like 1% of 1%. It's a very tiny amount of people in the world that can survive off the money that they can make off their music. The problem is that as musicians, what we would really like to do, thank you very much, is to survive off our music. We don't want to learn the latest dance on TikTok. We don't want to be going out and doing, ghost producing reggaeton for other artists. We don't want to be relying on doing music that's not our style of music that we're interested in doing, because it it ends up soaking up a lot of our creative energy, and it ends up leaving not enough energy for the music that we actually want to make, the music that's closest to our soul and that will actually turn on fans. actually let our fans, kind of see a picture, hear a picture of who we are. It also, the current system kind of destroys local and regional genres and subcultures, because since there's not enough money, since basically everyone involved at this level has to have day jobs, they're not able to put their all into supporting their local scene. So how are we doing that? And how does the Flow blockchain enable us to do that? Is what I want to share with you today. And the fact is that because Roham and Dapper have done such a great job of producing what is essentially a blockchain optimized for consumer usage at a massive scale, it means that we're able to create a product like Rcrdshp that emphasizes the things that mean most to the consumer. And when I say the consumer, I'm, of course, in our case, talking about music fans, which is access to the artist and access to cool stuff that they can obsess over, argue about, enjoy as a community. It's one of the things that gets lost when you have a world, with these huge corporations trying to push algorithmically generated music, machine learning based playlists, individualized, personalized music just for you, a playlist that is made just for you, where literally you're the only person that hears that music, coming out of your headphones. But guess what? That's bullshit. That's not the way music was meant to be enjoyed. Music is a group activity. Music is something that should be enjoyed in a community setting. And because of the nature of music that lends itself to being enjoyed in a community setting, to be enjoyed with friends, going out to concerts, arguing about music, having listening parties, deciding what goes into the CD carousel or nowadays into the Spotify playlist during our dinner parties. It shouldn't be personalized. It shouldn't be algorithmic. It shouldn't be generated by a nameless party. It should be something that you have active engagement in. And guess what? That overlaps really, really well with certain elements of NFT culture. NFT culture, decentralized Web3 principles emphasize community. They emphasize a decoupling from these large corporate nameless platforms. They emphasize the power of the individual to decide and to band together with other like-minded individuals to sponsor and foster the growth of their favorite arts. So what is Rcrdshp? We're a platform for taking those new developments in that come with NFTs and blockchain and deploying them on a wide scale for a large number of artists. And actually, Rcrdshp is only a product of a company called Let the Music Pay. That's actually a company that Roham and Metakoven and other notable people, Gareth Emery, it's a notable EDM artist that's invested in our platform. What they see, the vision that they see in our company, Let the Music Pay, is that all around the world over the course of the next 5 to 10 years, there's going to be a mass migration away from this commoditized way of marketing and engaging with fans. And it's going to come down to which artists can create authentic experiences for their communities. How can you engage in the most real way, in the most significant way with your communities? How can you create stuff not for an audience at a mass scale that 99% of them won't even know who you are as they listen on these anonymous playlists, but rather for that small segment of your audience that really, really, really loves you and what you're about. So it's not just about extracting money out of those fans, it's about creating real engagement that produces super fandom, like super, super excitement. We see that in our community. I want to give a shout out to my OGs, which have been there almost from day one. Many of them from day one or before in the Discord. We have a tremendous Discord community, almost 4,000 strong at this point. Also want to give a shout out to Purples. That's the OGAFs. That is a group that we actually created collectibles for in order to memorialize the cool things that were happening in the first week. It looks like I have 3 minutes left on the counter. Is that correct? Okay, fantastic. So Yeah, I think that pretty much sums it up. I do want to make beyond the shout out for the community. I want to mention that we operate like NBA Top Shot in the form of drops. We do have drops coming up. There will be announcements very soon about our 5th general drop, which will be open to the community. We also have potentially a stress test. That's a new announcement and a nugget that I'm dropping today. We want to test out some of the optimizations that we've made to our drop process over the last couple of weeks. So you want to keep your eyes peeled, eyes and ears open for an announcement about that in the next day or so. There's going to be a very, very small drop. We're talking about 1,400 packs. Those of you that have been with us since the beginning might recognize that number. It's significant. The other announcement that I want to make is that one of the most valuable cards on the site, which is my own HQ artist card, the Obie card, as it's called, the one that people most want to pull, is part of a set for HQ Recordings, the HQ Genesis set, and that set will be closing. So again, that HQ set will be closing, and that is an announcement that's going to move the market. It's one of the more popular sets on the platform. So, you know, we've been making a process to start closing the Genesis sets. The community's been very hungry to hear announcements about that, and that's going to continue to happen. Beyond that, we're making great progress on our roadmap. I am getting ready to sit down and write the next blog post in the series that started with the roadmap. And as always, I will try to stay very, very engaged. Those of you that have been in the Discord know that I go in there almost every day. I read almost everything in general chat, do follow what's going on and engage with the community in a lot of ways. And that's the fact that me and my team do that, you know, I think really makes us stand out from other projects. But other than that, I want to give a shout out to Roham and all our other wonderful supporting, you know, team players, both at Rcrdshp and at Dapper. And I want to say thank you very much to our wonderful community that keeps growing every day. And it's growing in a wonderful way that I didn't necessarily expect. And looking at other, you know, projects in this space, I don't think anyone could have predicted just the wonderful and friendly nature of what we see going on every day in the Rcrdshp Discord. It's really a joy to behold. And I want to express my gratitude and my appreciation for all that. We're in this for the long run. It's a transformative project. And if you haven't checked this out yet, you know, please give us a chance. Go into the marketplace, check it out, go into the Discord, take some tips from the community. They'll tell you how to get started. Check out some of the wonderful tools they've created, everything from tutorials to YouTube videos to spreadsheets and beginner's guides and cheat sheets. There's really a ton of creativity in this community, and we love to see it, and we expect that there's going to be a lot more. Thank you very much. My name is Obie Fernandez, and I appreciate this time to share Rcrdshp with you.